You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
And now a word from our sponsor, SpyCloud. Identity is the new battleground, and attackers are exploiting stolen identities to infiltrate your organization. Traditional defenses can't keep up. SpyCloud's holistic identity threat protection helps security teams uncover and automatically remediate hidden exposures across your users, from breaches, malware, and phishing to neutralize identity-based threats like account takeover, fraud, and ransomware. Don't let invisible threats compromise your business. Get your free corporate darknet exposure report at spycloud.com/cyberwire and see what attackers already know. That's spycloud.com/cyberwire. A jury orders NSO Group to pay $167 million to Meta over spyware allegations. CISA warns of hacktivists targeting U.S. ICS and SCADA systems. Researcher Micah Lee documents serious privacy risks in the TM SGNL app used by high-level Trump officials. The NSA plans significant workforce cuts. Nations look for alternatives to U.S. cloud providers. A medical device provider discloses a cyber attack disrupting its ability to ship customer orders. The Panda Shop smishing kit impersonates trusted brands. Accenture's CFO thwarts a deepfake attempt. Our temporary intern, Kevin Magee from Microsoft, wraps up his reporting from the RSAC show floor. And server room shenanigans with romance, retaliation, and root access. It's Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Thanks for joining us here today. It is great to have you with us, as always. A U.S. federal jury has ordered Israeli spyware maker NSO Group to pay over $167 million in damages for hacking into WhatsApp and targeting more than 1,000 people. The ruling caps a 6-year legal battle led by WhatsApp's parent company, Meta, which accused NSO of using its Pegasus spyware to breach U.S. anti-hacking laws. The damages include $167 million in punitive and $440,000 in compensatory penalties, marking a record hit to the spyware industry. Although NSO claims it only sells to governments for lawful use, investigations show Pegasus has targeted journalists, activists, and officials worldwide. The ruling also rejected NSO's claim of immunity and exposes the broader threat spyware poses to privacy and democracy. NSO says it may appeal. Meta says they plan to donate damages to digital rights groups. CISA, alongside the FBI, EPA, and Department of Energy, has issued a joint advisory warning that unsophisticated cyber actors are actively targeting industrial control systems and SCADA systems in the U.S. oil and gas sector. These attackers, likely hacktivists, exploit poor cyber hygiene using basic tools like default credentials, brute force attacks, and misconfigured remote access. Despite their simplicity, such intrusions can lead to serious consequences, including system shutdowns or physical damage. CISA urges asset owners to immediately remove OT systems from the public internet, enforce strong passwords and phishing-resistant MFA, secure remote access, segment networks, and prepare for manual operations. The alert also stresses reviewing third-party access and system configurations. This follows recent warnings about critical vulnerabilities in ICS devices from major manufacturers. Security researcher Micah Lee has documented serious privacy risks in the TM SGNL app, a modified version of Signal used by Trump officials. Despite marketing claims, Lee's analysis of TM Signal's Android source code confirms the app sends plain text copies of messages to Telemessage's AWS-hosted archive server, bypassing Signal's end-to-end encryption. These chat logs, which include Signal, WhatsApp, Telegram, and possibly WeChat messages, are vulnerable to access by the Israeli firm's staff and potentially foreign intelligence. The discovery was validated by a recent hack of Telemessage that revealed plain text messages in server memory. Senator Ron Wyden has urged the DOJ to investigate, citing national security concerns. TM Signal appears visually identical to Signal and interoperates with it, making it difficult for users to detect the switch. Lee warns that powerful U.S. officials using this insecure app may have exposed sensitive communications, possibly for years. Telemessage has since taken its archive server offline. The NSA is planning to cut up to 2,000 civilian positions, around 8% of its workforce, as part of a broader Trump administration effort to shrink the federal government. The downsizing affects roles across the agency, including cybersecurity and administrative staff. Cuts are tied to a Defense Department directive to reduce its budget by 8% annually for 5 years, affecting all combat support agencies. The NSA is focusing on early retirements and buyouts to avoid mass layoffs. Meanwhile, key cybersecurity leaders at NIST, including Computer Security Division Chief Matthew Shull, are departing amid federal downsizing in the Trump administration, raising serious concerns about NIST's capacity to lead in AI and post-quantum cryptography. Over 20% of CSD's federal staff have exited, jeopardizing critical research and weakening collaboration with industry. Experts warn the loss of institutional knowledge will hamper standards development and shift more cybersecurity burdens to businesses. NIST's budget may also face steep cuts under Trump's fiscal year 26 proposal. All of this instability and uncertainty in the U.S. has triggered global demand for alternatives to U.S. cloud dominance. Europe is seeking digital sovereignty through a strategy that moves beyond simply replicating Amazon, Google, or Microsoft. The goal is to build a viable European cloud ecosystem that's not only technically credible, but politically and economically independent. This means reducing dependency on proprietary U.S. services, investing in open-source software tailored for cloud infrastructure, and supporting European service providers. Governments play a critical role by funding development, shaping procurement policies, and enforcing privacy laws like GDPR to prioritize local solutions. While Europe already has strong hosting and networking players, transitioning them into full-service cloud providers requires new business models and technical capabilities. The plan resembles building digital railroads, laying the foundation for others to innovate upon. This initiative, echoed by concerns in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, represents a broader global desire to break free from U.S. tech hegemony and establish trusted local control over critical infrastructure. Medical device giant Masimo has disclosed a cyber attack that disrupted its ability to process and ship customer orders. The breach, detected on April 27th, has forced some manufacturing facilities to operate below normal levels. In a filing with the SEC, the California-based company said it isolated affected systems, engaged cybersecurity experts, and notified law enforcement. The nature and scope of the attack remain under investigation, and Masimo has not confirmed if ransomware was involved. Despite the disruption, CEO Katie Seisman stated during an earnings call that the incident is not expected to affect financial guidance. Masimo, known for its pulse oximetry and patient monitoring tools, joins a growing list of manufacturers hit by cyber attacks that have caused major operational and financial setbacks, including Clorox, Johnson Controls, and Sensata Technologies. A new China-based smishing kit called Panda Shop is enabling cybercriminals to steal financial data by impersonating trusted brands like the U.S. Postal Service, DHL, and major banks. Discovered by ReSecurity, the kit creates mobile-optimized phishing pages that convincingly mimic legitimate websites. It supports the theft of Google Pay, Apple Pay, and credit card details, and can send up to 2 million messages daily, potentially targeting 60 million victims per month. Unlike older SMS-based scams, Panda Shop uses advanced tactics including Google RCS and Apple iMessage evasion methods to bypass detection and OTP interception to defeat multi-factor authentication. Researchers linked it to the smishing triad group due to shared tactics and coding similarities. Configuration files and domain data point to operations based in China. The attackers boldly claim to be beyond the FBI's reach, further emphasizing the challenge of combating transnational cybercrime. Last May, someone impersonating an attorney set up a video call with Accenture's CFO and a very convincing deepfake of CEO Julie Sweet. The fake Julie asked for an urgent funds transfer. Luckily, the CFO followed company protocols, and no money left the company. Flick March, Accenture's EMEA cyber strategy lead, recounted the close call at the Cybersecurity Festival, warning that deepfakes are changing the game. With inexpensive tools now readily available, even trained professionals are fooled. Half failed a recent deepfake test. March calls this a paradigm shift in the attack vector. Deepfakes now blur the lines between cyber, fraud, and disinformation, demanding a total rethink of security strategies. Companies must embrace identity security, establish security communication channels, and train teams to question even seemingly authentic requests. If something feels off, says March, you should feel empowered to say, "Call me back on Monday." Coming up after the break, our temporary intern Kevin Magee from Microsoft wraps up his reporting from the RSAC show floor and server room shenanigans with romance, retaliation, and root access. Stay with us. Traditional pen testing is resource-intensive, slow, and expensive, providing only a point-in-time snapshot of your application's security, leaving it vulnerable between development cycles. Automated scanners alone are unreliable in detecting faults within application logic and critical vulnerabilities. Outpost 24's continuous pen testing as a service solution offers year-round protection, with recurring manual penetration testing conducted by CREST-certified pen testers, allowing you to stay ahead of threats and ensure your web applications are always secure. And now, a word from our sponsor, Black Kite. If third-party risk is keeping you up at night, you're not alone. It's a constant battle. Black Kite's third-party cyber risk platform is built on real-world threat intelligence, straight from their research team's ongoing breach analysis, dark web monitoring, and attacker tactics. That means you get a hacker's eye view of your supply chain to proactively spot risks. And speaking of research, they just dropped their 2025 third-party breach report, breaking down last year's biggest trends and what's coming next. Grab the report now at www.blackkite.com. At last week's RSAC 2025 conference, Kevin Magee, Global Director of Cybersecurity Startups at Microsoft, took a break from his day job and helped us. Here's intern Kevin's final report from the RSAC show floor.
All right, tell me who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Owen Wickens, Director of Threat Intelligence at Hidden Layer.
Now, you've got an interesting report that's just come out. I've had a chance to give it a read and some interesting findings. Can you give me the high level?
Sure, absolutely. We have 4 parts in our report: threats to AI systems, threats faced by AI systems, key advancements in AI security, and predictions for the future. We had an interesting survey with 250 respondents. 89% of IT leaders said that ML models are becoming business critical in their organization. 74% reported that they knew they had an AI breach over the last year, and 95% have budget allocated for AI security over the coming year.
Okay, so if I'm a CISO reading this report, what's the one thing I should look at that's most important?
Agentic AI is the future, but we've discovered all sorts of classes of vulnerabilities across the supply chain, such as attack techniques like shadow logic, detrimental threats like indirect prompt injection to AI systems.
So you're here at RSA. Now you're presenting, but what else are you looking to learn while you're here from other vendors or from presentations or some of the sessions?
I want to find out how people are utilizing agentic systems in the real world today. I think agentic is the future. Tool-equipped LLMs with persistent data models are enabling wonders that we haven't seen before. It's almost like an industrial revolution. Instead of the printing press, it's now intelligence that's being commoditized.
Awesome. What's the one fun thing you've seen? So after party, interesting booth, anything of note that you'd like to pass on to those that couldn't attend?
Myself and my colleague Casimir checked out the goats this morning.
The goats, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, from the floor of RSA, tell me who are you and what do you do?
Hey, so I'm Gil. I'm the co-founder and CEO of BlinkOps.
What does BlinkOps do?
We are an automation platform. We focus on automating all of security across SOC, GRC, IAM, cloud security, and vulnerability management, and so on.
Awesome. It sounds like you've got a great presence here. You got a ton of folks here. How's the show been for you?
It's been amazing. There's way too many people, but it's been going pretty well. We have a lot of traction, a lot of activity, customers, partners, especially with Microsoft. So
awesome. What's the number one challenge that customers are bringing to you that you're helping solve right now?
I would say that automation has always been an issue for customers, but I think for the first time in the past forever is the boards of organizations are talking about optimizing their organization using automation and AI. And there's been a void between what the board wants and what the team can actually do. And so I think we're in a great position to fill that void.
So my investment thesis is automate, remediate, and govern. So very aligned to you, what you do as well too. So what is the number one thing that you would like to tell those business leaders and boards about what they should be thinking about in terms of securing their organizations for the new age of AI?
I think that obviously AI agents are the future, but the problem with AI agents is that they're also probably the biggest security risk for organizations, as they're essentially autonomous, and if you give them admin access to your systems, they might actually suspend all your accounts, delete all your devices, and so on. So there's a gap to bridge between that and something you can trust. What we've done at Blink is we've built a workflow engine that's deterministic, so you can predefine a workflow however you want to see it, define it. And at the same time, you can also build autonomous agents. Bridging those together, in my personal opinion, is the holy grail, as opposed to going to a vendor and trusting that whatever agent they built will work out of the box. Yeah.
So you're here at RSA. What's the coolest thing you've seen, or what's the big theme that you think is coming out of the show?
Coolest thing I've seen. Well, there's a lot of animals in this conference. We've seen puppies and goats all over the place. But otherwise, it's really nice to see that so many people are attending the conference. I think it's actually bigger than last year, or at least it feels like it. And it brings everybody together: customers, vendors, partners. I think it's a fantastic conference.
Awesome. Thanks for your time and have a great RSA. All right, so start off by telling me, who are you and what do you do?
Hey Kevin, it's Jordan Shaw-Young. I'm the Chief of Staff of Detection Response at Blue Voyant.
Blue Voyant, MSSP, in a lot of different areas, helping enable customers to not only deploy security, but also manage their security resources. So tell me a little more about what the company does.
We're an MDR provider, so we do detection response. A lot of the work we do is with our partner Microsoft, who we're here with in the booth. Blue Voyant is also a detection response provider for supply chain risk and third-party risk. So we kind of apply what we do in detection response, both internally as well as into our customers' extended supply chains and third parties.
Now, you and I have known each other for a long time. I know you always have your eye on what's cool, what's new, what's upcoming. So Around the show, what have you got your eye on? What themes are you looking for? Give me some hints.
Yeah, the detection automation. So some of the companies that are looking at ways of helping SOCs manage volumes of detections and finding really high fidelity detections are really interesting vendors for us. There's a lot of new interesting technology coming up in that area. That's where we do a lot of our work. So yeah, that's really been my highlight.
Now, I'm required to make you say agentic AI. So if you can tell me a little bit about that. That seems to be the number one theme here.
Yeah, BlueVoyant's been doing R&D in AI and in agentic AI specifically. We've been doing a lot of work with Microsoft. We've released a AI agent with the Secure Exchange. So BlueVoyant's going to be doing a whole ton of work with Microsoft Copilot, and it's really going to be transformational for SOC operations at some point in the future.
So one of the biggest challenges we hear about is just there's not enough people in our industry. So what are you doing to help solve for some of those problems, both in managed services, but also in developing IP and technology to bridge some of those gaps?
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know how accurate that is, that we have this giant skills gap, but in terms of numbers of people. But what we definitely do have is a lack of specialized skills in certain areas. And so it's very difficult to find people who are, detection engineering is a good example of something where we put a lot of effort into finding really strong detection engineers who are able to synthesize threat intelligence and build these into detectors to find evil in customer networks. So where we're able to find technology to augment some of that, that's really difficult talent to find. So anything we can find to bring into our tech stack to help them out, that's really what we're after.
All right, so what's the big fun moment? What's the best after party? Give me something really interesting that you've seen or done exciting at RSA this year.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think whatever vendor it was who brought the goats and the goat pen, that beats the dogs and the monster truck. I don't actually know who the vendor was, but that's a bold move to bring a whole goat pen.
That's awesome. I keep looking for the goats. I haven't found the goats yet, but it's on my list to check out. Well, thanks, Jordan. Great to see you again, and have a great RSA. All right, so tell me, who are you and what do you do?
Hi, my name is Paul St. Bill. I'm the VP of Field Engineering here at Zenity.
What does Zenity do?
Zenity secures AI agents everywhere.
Everywhere. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so whether you have them inside of Microsoft Copilot or it's ChatGPT, Salesforce agents, whatever platform you're consuming your agentic AI, we're there to secure you.
Awesome. So what are you hearing on the floor here? What are customers asking you? What are some of their challenges?
Yeah, what they're seeing is a big rise in agentic on everybody's banner. In particular, they're seeing the difference between generative AI and agentic AI and how the challenges definitely are not on the same level.
Awesome. So if you were to talk to one of your customers or a potential customer, what's the first thing they should be thinking about that you can help them solve?
The first thing they should be thinking about is who's consuming agentic AI inside of their environment. So what co-pilots do they have enabled? And then secondarily, what are the tools and actions and privileges that they think people would be chasing first for their primary use cases?
Now, you're a younger guy than me, so you've probably been hitting the nightlife of RSA. What are any fun activities or anything exciting that's happened that you're willing to share?
Yeah. I've seen a couple people getting some great swag on the floor with these neon bags. I'm hoping that my marketing leader hears me and signs us up for them next year.
That's fantastic. So I've heard puppies, goats, anything else exciting?
That's about it for me.
Well, thanks for your time and have a great RSA.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And our heartfelt thanks to Kevin Magee, Global Director of Cybersecurity Startups at Microsoft, for lending his talents to our RSAC coverage. Let's be real. Navigating security compliance can feel like assembling IKEA furniture without the instructions. You know you need it, but it takes forever and you're never quite sure if you've done it right. That's where Vanta comes in. Vanta is a trust management platform that automates up to 90% of the work for frameworks like SOC 2, ISO 27001, and HIPAA, getting you audit ready in weeks, not months. Whether you're a founder, an engineer, or managing IT and security for the first time, Vanta helps you prove your security posture without taking over your life. More than 10,000 companies, including names like Atlassian and Quora, trust Vanta to monitor compliance, streamline risk, and speed up security reviews by up to 5 times. And the ROI? A recent IDC report found Vanta saves businesses over $500,000 a year and pays for itself in just 3 months. For a limited time, you can get $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/cyber. That's VANTA.com/cyber. And finally, a former IT manager is suing Deutsche Bank and its contractor Computer Center, alleging they let a security breach slide right under their noses and into their server rooms. According to James Papa, a fellow IT worker brought his girlfriend, an unauthorized Chinese national with tech skills, into Deutsche Bank's most sensitive tech areas multiple times. Jenny, as she's called, allegedly accessed secure systems with a contractor laptop, all while Papa was off-site. When he reported it, rather than earning a promotion, Papa got the boot. No action was taken against the lovebirds, who later vacationed in China. Now Papa is suing for $20 million, claiming whistleblower retaliation and a good old-fashioned cover-up. As for Deutsche Bank and Computer Center, mum's the word. Nothing says robust cybersecurity like bring your girlfriend to work day in the server room. And that's the CyberWire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our CyberWire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester with original music and sound design by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. What's the common denominator in security incidents? Escalations and lateral movement. When a privileged account is compromised, attackers can seize control of critical assets. With bad directory hygiene and years of technical debt, identity attack paths are easy targets for threat actors to exploit, but hard for defenders to detect. This poses risk in Active Directory, Entra ID, and hybrid configurations. Identity leaders are reducing such risks with attack path management. You can learn how attack path management is connecting identity and security teams while reducing risk with Bloodhound Enterprise, powered by SpecterOps. Head to specterops.io today to learn more. SpecterOps, see your attack paths the way adversaries do.